Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we've got major breaking news because we got the official casting of Supergirl in the DCU. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. But before we get into we have been hearing for a while now that there were 3 actresses in the running to play Supergirl in Superman Legacy first, and then they would go on to play Supergirl in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is the whole point for the casting. And so the names that were thrown around was Millie Alcock from House of the Dragon, and then there was Meg Donnelly, who plays Supergirl in the Tomorrowverse right now. She was in the Legion film, she's in Crisis, but also Amelia Jones, who reportedly refused to read in the end for the part of Supergirl, but we don't know why. But just last week it was whittled down to 2, Millie Alcock and Meg Donnelly, and now we've got the official answer. Millie Alcock is going to be the new Supergirl in James Gunn's DC movies, including Superman Legacy and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So we're going to be breaking down the Hollywood Reporter article that confirms that Millie Alcock is taking on Supergirl in the DCU. And so Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is taking flight with House of Dragon star Millie Alcock. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed she will star in the feature as Kara Zor-El, the cousin of Superman. Alcock screen tested for DC Studios bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran last week, along with Meg Donnelly, who has also been in contention for the role. The character is expected to appear in a DC Studios project or 2 before her solo adventure, that being Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, but it's unclear if the project will be Gunn's Superman Legacy, which begins filming this spring, or another DC movie or show. Supergirl is moving like a speeding locomotive, and it's possible that the feature could be shooting in the fall if Warner soon find a director. Anna Nogueira is penning the script. So that's the official news. Millie Alcock is now Supergirl. Now, what do I think of this? Well, this was definitely the main pick that I thought they were going to go for, and that's because she is probably the most well-known out of all of them, although she's at that stage where she's not overly known, but this could be her breakout role to wider audiences, because Supergirl is going to play a big role in the DCU, and as the article states, she's not just going to appear in her own film, which is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, in the next couple of years, but she's going to appear in 1 or 2 DC Studios projects before her film even comes out, according to the Hollywood Reporter. So I'm definitely saying she's going to appear for the first time in Superman Legacy, and then it really depends on how they want to organize the schedule. She could appear in another project before Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, but as the article states, there's even the possibility that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow could start shooting in the fall if they find a director soon. So that project is getting moved along much faster than I ever thought. Obviously, all these articles in the last couple of weeks, we keep on getting updates, every week about who's going to be potentially in the running to play Supergirl. Now we've got the official casting that Millie Alcock is playing Supergirl in the DCU. Obviously, they can move forward with things even more now, because she 100% will be starring in that film, and now the only thing that they need to do is find a director, presuming that the screenplay is done, with Anna Nogueira being hired a while ago to start doing the script. So what do you guys think? Do you think Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow could potentially start filming this year? I feel like it's a little bit too rushed, like maybe this isn't going to happen. I feel like maybe the start of 2025, that's going to be my prediction for now, just because obviously they're focusing on all these other projects, they don't even have a director yet, and I don't think they're going to want to rush into any projects. So I'm going to say Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow probably won't start filming in the fall, although if they get a director, yes, they can start speeding things up, but I think they're going to want more time just to get things right, because it will be at least one of the first projects in the DCU in terms of the films. So you obviously have Superman Legacy first, and then it's the question of, is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow going to be the first or second project after Superman Legacy? Because Batman the Brave and the Bold, whatever they end up doing with that, we know that they've got the director already, that being Andy Muschietti. They haven't cast Batman yet, so that's the opposite problem that Supergirl is having right now, and I think the start is probably the most important thing, especially because if they're going to appear in multiple films, that is very important. I think the reason why they got a leg up and they started on Supergirl first is because Supergirl is so linked to Superman. It just makes sense if they want to introduce her to audiences before her own film. introduce her in Superman Legacy. It just makes sense, even if it's just a cameo, if it's 2 minutes, if it's 5 minutes, whatever it is. I think it's important to show her in the film and show her how she's different from Superman, because that is one of the biggest things in regards to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. It's all about her branching off and being a superhero that is different from her cousin, because the whole point of the comic is she's escaping Earth, she's traveling into space on her 21st birthday just to get out of the shadow of her cousin. So if she appears in Superman Legacy, I expect that they're going to be setting up that style of Supergirl. But James Gunn has actually gone on to confirm that Millie Alcock will be playing Supergirl in the DCU. He wrote, "Millie is a fantastically talented young actor, and I'm incredibly excited about her being a part of the DCU." James Gunn went on to write, "Yes, I first became aware of her in House of the Dragon, but I was blown away by her varied auditions and screen tests for Supergirl." So as I said earlier, I always felt like Millie had a leg up on the other actors just because she was in House of the Dragon recently, and she's fresh in everyone's mind if you've watched the show or even if you've just watched the trailers. And I guess James Gunn, as he says, was blown away by her, not only because of her work in House of the Dragon, she's not even in the whole first season, but in the auditions she did to play Supergirl, to play Kara Zor-El. He was very impressed, and so congrats to Millie for getting the role. Obviously I was rooting for the other two, but that's just personal preference because I've seen them more in other projects. I haven't watched House of the Dragon yet, but I know a lot of you guys that have seen Millie Alcock's work were big fans of her. I actually do live streams every Thursday with Chainsaw. He sometimes is a guest on the show, and he was a big fan of her and was rooting for her to get the role. So I know a lot of people are going to be happy about this, and to be honest, I'm just happy that there's a Supergirl. I want Supergirl to be a big part of the DCU because, as you guys know, I'm a big Supergirl fan in the comics. I love Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. It's actually one of the best comic books I've read in a long time, and also obviously I'm a big fan of Melissa's Supergirl in the Arrowverse, but also I liked what Sasha Calle did with Supergirl in the Flash film, even though that Flash film was, you know, a bit hit and miss. And I think ultimately I do feel sad for Sasha, because if she wasn't cast for that film and she was cast now, I think she would have a big future as Supergirl. And I think it's just down to the circumstances of James Gunn taking over with Peter Safran, them creating DC Studios, creating a new universe. They just can't really continue with too much. Although people would argue that he is very nitpicky about who he's picking, because he is just taking over the people that he has worked with before on the Suicide Squad, on Peacemaker, and he's ignoring everyone else. So it's a bit of a shame for everyone else, but nevertheless, that is how it is going right now, and that's just Hollywood view. Things like this happens. So anyway, looking forward to seeing Millie Alcock as Supergirl, but the type of Supergirl that she has been described as is this. We will see the difference between Superman, who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents from the time he was an infant, versus Supergirl raised on a rock, a chip off of Krypton, and who watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life, and then came to Earth and obviously became Supergirl. We don't know at what point we're going to pick up with Supergirl, but if they follow along with the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow storyline, we would be picking up with Supergirl, who has just turned 21, and Millie Alcock is 23, so, you know, that's kind of makes sense in terms of casting, so she can definitely play a 21-year-old. And if we are going chronologically, I guess if she appears in Superman Legacy and any other DC project before Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, she would have to be a 20-year-old, and then kind of leading into that story of her going to space for her birthday when she hits 21 and just escaping, and so that's where we would find her. So really looking forward to Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, looking forward to Superman Legacy. I wasn't expecting the casting announcement to come this soon. Like, I thought maybe it would be a bit further into February when we got the official casting announcement, but obviously with all these articles and all these leaks out there, I think DC Studios and James Gunn just took the leap and decided to officially announce Supergirl before any other speculation goes out there. So for now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It would really help this video get out there. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos.
DC